Are you brave? Today, I want us to have a discussion about bravery and how you can apply it to make your life so much better, whether it is in your business or personal life. So, whether you want to use this in your entrepreneurial, reseller, whatever business you might be in, print on demand, self-employed life, you can apply it to that. Or if it's something more personal to you, where there's different areas in your life where you feel like you're stuck and you're afraid or you can't move forward, then apply it wherever you need, because there are different places and times in our lives where we need to find that bravery from within. And there are times and places in different areas in our life where we feel like we are very courageous, very brave, but in other areas, maybe not so much. And please stay till the end, because I have a few questions and I really want to hear what you have to say as far as a response to these questions. I'm very curious about how this is impacting your life. So in my life, there have been many times where I had to pull up that strength and be brave. There were lots of times where I was absolutely crippled with fear and anxiety. And so I wanted to come to you today because I really felt like there is somebody out there that needs to hear this. And this is something that you can do to look at your own life, whether it's business related, reseller related, maybe financially things aren't going as well as it should. Maybe at home, things in your personal life aren't going as well as it should. Maybe you're hitting a brick wall with your boss. Maybe you're hitting a brick wall with your spouse, your kids. These are different things that you can do to try to change that and find that bravery from within so that you can get through these hard times. There are areas in our lives throughout where we have to take those steps in order to break free from that fear, that anxiety that is holding us back. So if you're a reseller, an entrepreneur, and things aren't working out and you feel like you're just hitting a brick wall, start taking a look at what are those areas where it's sticky or you feel like you're hitting that wall, and ask yourself, like, what's going on here? I know that there are people out there that, try to work around it. But unfortunately, there are people that will just sit and complain about why things aren't working out the way they should. It's that I keep doing the same thing. I keep doing all of the things that I'm supposed to do, but I'm still not finding that success that I'm looking for. And maybe you're a mom or a teacher or a student or a kid, and you see all of these other people they seem to be doing the same thing that you are, but they're getting different results. So take a step back and take a look at the bigger picture, because sometimes things aren't what they appear. Is the person really doing the same thing? Let's say you're a reseller and you're trying to sell shoes. Speaking from personal experience here, and you see people buying shoes and they're doing very well selling their shoes. And okay, I'm going to buy shoes. I'm going to sell shoes. And then the shoes, I think I'm buying the same kinds of shoes they are, but my shoes aren't selling. What's going on here? And instead of trying to complain and just see like, well, it's not right. It's not, maybe they're lying, or maybe they're this, maybe they're that. No, take a look back and say, okay, Margaret, or okay, me, is there something wrong with my listings? Are my photographs? Take a look and see what are the areas that are not lining up. And if you stop and think deep down, you'll know the answer. So the first thing I would suggest you do, if you're in one of these places where you're feeling stuck, or you feel like you're doing all the right things but you aren't getting the right results, is to take a look at what energy you're bringing to this. Are you complaining? Are you moping? Are you saying, what's wrong with these buyers, or the platform is bad? Or if you're, applying this to personal life, like my kids are acting this way, or my husband is behaving blah, 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 take a look at what energy you're bringing to the situation. I'm not saying blame yourself. I'm saying take a look at, are you doing all the things that you can do to make this situation the best it possibly could be? Because complaining about it and expecting the whole world to change, but not you, is not going to fix anything. If anything, it's going to just bring more bitterness. And if you really want to dig deep on this, start asking yourself, are my thoughts leading to growth and a better life, or are my thoughts limiting me? And if you are realizing suddenly that, hey, you know what? Some of the things I think are pretty negative, some of the things I think are, something's wrong with them, not me, then you might ask yourself, where did these thoughts start coming in? Where did this come from? Where did this start? Because all of these thoughts and ideas that we have about who we are and the way we react to the world, it started somewhere. We're not born with all of these chips on our shoulder and negative ideas of the way the world works. So whatever situation you feel like you can apply this to, once you've gone through that process of looking inwards and asking yourself, am I doing everything with the right energy, with the right frame of mind that would get me through this situation? And if you can go through that and answer, okay, I have a good attitude, I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do, there are truly external factors that are impacting me negatively, whether you feel like it's, the situation you're in with your partner, or, you're just not feeling it. Let's say it's reselling related, and like me with the shoes, like it just wasn't right for me. So at that moment, and I'm not saying go leave your husband or stop reselling or whatever it is that you are applying this situation to. I hate to pin it down, because I know different people are going to be internalizing this and applying it to different parts of their lives. But I would say, if you feel like you're coming at everything the right way and it's still not working out, then you might ask yourself, is this for me? So I had to do that, say with the shoes, and realize this is not for me. This doesn't bring me joy. This isn't bringing me prosperity. This isn't bringing me happiness. It just feels like this tub of stinky shoes that's like hanging out in my basement. And I just decided this is not for me. So I made the choice to remove that from my life. Some of the shoes fit the people in my family, so we kept some. The rest of the shoes were gifted. So I felt like in the end, I was able to take this sort of albatross that was hanging over me and still make something positive out of it. Now, if you are applying this, say, to a personal relationship, whether it's with a family member, a spouse, a kid, it's really easy to get into the blame game. It's a lot more tricky when it has to do with personal relationships. Coming from leaving a few abusive situations, I completely understand that this is not something like a tub of shoes that you can just pick up and give away. Depending on the situation you're in, let's say for my last marriage, I was in the position where I could not leave. I could not financially leave. And so it took time for me to take the steps to get to the place where it was feasible for me to leave. But I had to try to do what I could to protect my mental health and my well-being, and find ways throughout the day to keep that kernel of bravery and hope alive inside of me. So if your situation has to do with personal matter, whether it's a family member, a spouse, a sibling, go gently with it. If it's somebody, I have had multiple family members that I've had to quit, completely cut off contact with. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the best route, but in some cases it is, especially if it's something really abusive. So with my ex, it did take time for me to get to that point. And then when I was able to leave, it was there was no question in my mind. There was absolute peace about it. Now, bravery doesn't always have to have a negative connotation. I have created so many different streams of income for myself. And this form of bravery, I feel like there should be different connotations of bravery. In this version of bravery, I would say I was brave in the way that I'm unafraid to try new things. I feel like a lot of people are really afraid or scared or apprehensive to try new things because they're worried that they're going to fail, or they're going to look silly, or somebody's going to criticize them or say, that's a stupid idea, or that'll never work. And you just have to ignore it because someone else is getting to say what your life and your joys are. And you don't want to limit yourself based on either your own thoughts, because maybe it's coming from your own head. That's great for Margaret. She's got a YouTube channel. I didn't always. I started this just like anybody else. And, it's great for Margaret. She's got a computer that she can do this on. Well, a lot of these things you can do on your phone, or the library has a computer, or there's a solution. If it's something that you want to do badly enough, whether it's expand the things that you do to sell to become financially independent, or it's something creative. I haven't told anybody yet, so I'm going to tell you. I used to do swing dance a long time ago, and I haven't in forever. And I was never very good at Lindy Hop. And I keep getting these little, it's like the internet reads your mind, or the universe is like, hello. I keep getting these little pop-ups for swing dance, Lindy Hop lessons. And I think I'm going to do it, and that's just another area. And then of course I have these little doubts that come into my mind. Well, Margaret, you're not in the same shape you used to be, you're not in your 20s anymore. And so I get these little negative thoughts, and I just have to block them away, whack them away like little, nope. It's going to be so fun. I just started remembering the lightness and the joy and the excitement that I would feel whenever I would go and the music would start and you would just flow through the dance. It was just so much fun and just so fluid. So it's something that I'm thinking of doing again. So think about the things that you're wanting to do, that your soul, that your heart, that your pocketbook is saying, try it. If you don't try it, you won't succeed. But if you do try it, you might succeed. You just don't know where the path will go. And I'm thinking of whether it's reselling or it's print on demand. Believe me, I had probably months of people telling me I needed to start doing print on demand before I started it. And I was like, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not a da-da-da. I'm not a da-da-da. And then all of a sudden I started, and I had so much fun with it. And my shirts were not amazing, but a lot of them sold. And I was making money. And then it made a lot of money. And so it was just like, there might be something to this, There are other avenues that I'm planning on trying still. So, or a move, maybe it's in your heart that the place that you live just isn't fulfilling your soul, and you want to take yourself to a new place. That takes bravery. I just moved from Texas to Colorado with my kids, and don't get me wrong, it was challenging. But now that we're here, it is so rewarding. We're having such an amazing time and so many new adventures that leap of faith was 100% worth it. So you have to decide for yourself, whatever area it is that this is speaking to you for, do you have the courage that it takes to start taking the steps to make the changes in your life that you really want to see? If there's something that you feel like is just missing, or something isn't just right, or there's something you secretly want to try and you haven't yet, I encourage you to start taking those steps. If you're not ready to jump and dive right in, just write it down in your journal. I have my notebook here. Just write it down. I really want to start taking Lindy Hop lessons. Or I really want to write poetry. Or I think I want to try to sell on Etsy too. I want to branch off a little. Dip your toes in. Write it down. Okay. I said at the beginning that I really do want to hear from you. I want to hear how this is speaking to you. I want to know, tell me a time that you were brave and how it made you feel. And tell me a time, maybe right now in your life, where you feel like there's a barrier and you're wanting to push through and you need that little nudge, consider this your nudge, to break through that barrier and find the bravery that is inside of you already to take the steps to have a magnificent life. We all have the ability to have such a beautiful life if we only look within ourselves and look at the beauty that the world has to offer us, because it is out there for every single one of us. Yes, even you. Thank you so much for listening, and I really look forward to hearing what you have to say. I'll talk to you later. Bye.